welcome back to the Engler Journey podcast. I'm your host, Olivia Vanderford, and today I have the pleasure of being with a visionary in the Engler program, Sheridan WiIson, and it's so nice to have you here today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm so excited to learn more about your story. I know that you've been in the Engler program for basically your whole college experience, starting at your sophomore year.
Yep.
So could you talk about how you learned you first wanted to become an entrepreneur in college, and any challenges you had coming from high school into college that the Engler program helped you with?
Yeah, for sure. So I'd say right off the bat, I didn't join Engler. My whole freshman year, I knew about it. A lot of my friends were in it. I wanted to kind of test it out, but I wasn't sure about fully committing. I would say I definitely felt the weight of what it meant to be in the Engler program, and I wasn't sure if that was what I really wanted. And so it took me a second to really decide. Coming to Lincoln was no problem for me. Like, that was always, I wanted to be a Cornhusker. That was what I wanted. And I thought that I wanted to work with ranchers, and I grew up ranching, and so I was like, cows, ranchers, and grass is what my interest was. And as I learned about more career opportunities I could do within that, I was like, well, that's cool, but it's not quite what I want. And that's cool, but it's not quite like what I want. And I just kept thinking, like, well, I think I could do this better maybe. And so that was part of my decision in joining the Engler program, is just like, well, if I want to start a business where I have, the ability to work with ranchers, cattle, and grass, I want to be able to do it my way. And so I officially committed and joined the fall of my sophomore year is when I signed my letter of intent. And from then on, I would say I've just been pretty, all in, I guess, as far as opportunities Engler offers and stuff. I'd say challenges coming from my college, high school to college experience, I didn't have any problem coming to Lincoln. So I'm from a really small town, and so a lot of people ask me, oh, did you have culture shock or anything like that? And we'd been to Lincoln enough for events, for FFA and things like that. It wasn't any issue, and I was ready for something bigger. And then I got to college, and I had a lot of habits of I'm a school kid. I'm really good at school. I'm really good at getting good grades. And I wanted to be challenged more in that way. And in the Engler program, it's not about grades, it's not about school, it's not about the piece of paper. And so I definitely learned a new mindset through that, and it challenged me to not just get good grades, not just to be the kid with, whatever GPA or anything like that. It was no, there's something more to the experience here, and I wanted to be a part of it. And so I think that was definitely a mindset shift that happened for me, yeah.
Yeah, so being in the community kind of helped you grow as a person through college. Were there any experiences that you will always cherish from being in the Engler program?
Oh, for sure. Oh, man, where do I even start? I'd say one of the biggest things is just every time you walk into the space, there's a feeling, I don't know, if you walked in the space, I'm sure anybody could understand what I'm talking about. There's so many people doing so many great things, and you look around and you see what people have done, and it's just super awesome. And sometimes it's a little intimidating or challenging, but it's so cool to be in a space that's just so immersed in people's passions. So I think that's just a feeling that I'll take with me no matter what. As far as experiences, the community is just so great. Sitting at the kitchen table, and you never know who's gonna walk in, who you're gonna talk to, who you're gonna see, and it's really made me be more intentional with my conversations, just having people in this space. And that's the best thing, is just the friendships that I've made. So.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it's all about, finding community, especially in college, making those connections, and that's what the Engler program helps you with. So could you talk about some of your classes that you've really enjoyed here in the Engler program? Any mentors that you always remember and made a big impact on your life?
So I've taken 388 is probably the most influential class so far, and so when I joined, I took that class right away, and I definitely, how should I even explain it? So it was kind of, the full send into the program, it wasn't, let's just find out what this is. No, we made a business plan, we interviewed people. It really pushed me out of my comfort zone, and in a really good way, I'd say. There's been a lot of experiences now where I can call up somebody or, send out an email, ask for help. And don't know that I would have been able to comfortably do that before. And now I think that, if I found a contact that I wanted to reach out to, I could do it. And so I think that was a huge thing for 388. And then also helping me to advance, what if I wanted to have a business, what would that look like? And so that was a really great class that I took. Mission Impossible was a module I took that also really helped. I kind of mentioned earlier that, I was the grade kid in school. And so right away when I came to college, I wanted to major in everything. And I wanted to do everything and experience everything. And you can't do all of that sustainably. And so Mission Impossible was a really good module to help me prioritize where I'm spending my time and where I want to be spending my time, and where's the discrepancy there, and what do I need to change so that there isn't a discrepancy. And so I think that was really influential too.
Yeah. So all those classes really help you throughout life. They give you the skills and the tool set just to succeed throughout your life.
Yeah.
So could you talk about your business? I know you said you just started it, but I know you have future plans and you've started some things with it. Could you explain kind of what your vision is for that?
Yeah. And so with that, my goal is upon graduation to have a full-fledged consulting business for ranchers that helps them to make their grazing plans more efficient, and so then that will help their operations to be more profitable and successful as well. And I think that there's just a lot of opportunity for ranchers to get more out of their pastures. Like some people are doing things the same way they've always done it, and I think that can't continue, as, if you look at the markets, if you look at just prices of everything, it's really hard to get started and be involved in a farming and ranching operation and not have like extra income already. And that's only going to get more challenging, I think. And so my goal when I look at ranching, whether I'm coming back to my own like family's operation someday or, looking at the communities around me, like things are going to have to start changing. And one of the ways I think that there may be opportunity is in the way that we graze our livestock. I would really like to have a service that caters to ranchers who are interested in, trying to get more out of their pastures, and that's specific to their objectives. Do they want more grass? Do they want less hay? Do they want more cover for wildlife? Whatever they want, I want to be able to be a service for them as well as a sounding board and just a resource that they could use to help improve their operation. Right now, what I have done so far, I've done a little bit of work for some ranchers, mostly doing monitoring activities. And so if they're in a program that requires them to monitor, I can help with that. And so that's been a really great learning experience. And it's taught me that there's also a little bit more work I need to do before I'm ready to just go out and sell my knowledge, And so I think that has been a really great experience. I've got people that are willing to work with me as I kind of test this out. And as I go, I just think that, the big thing is to continue learning no matter what, because, what I'm offering is what I'm learning. And so that's going to be really essential as I get closer to having this more operational. And, I think the other thing, too, is just to continue to reach out for more ideas and more feedback from others.
That's such a cool business idea, because it's just so innovative in the way that like you're offering your knowledge to help improve agriculture. Did you have any leadership roles in Engler at all, like ever throughout your time?
Yes. So
Yes?
I'm currently a member of the exec team, and that's been a really cool experience. I know that the Engler program has had a couple changes as far as their teams go and how they operate and change and not change, but just operate, I guess. And so I'm on the first exec team that is strategically focused. And so we're looking at things that are happening in 1 to 5 years in the Engler program and what would it look like if, Engler did X, Y, Z. And so that really has grown my team, abilities and just ability to collaborate with others, and it's also really grown like the strategic part of my brain. You don't have to use that very often, I'd say, like just at this point in our lives, thinking a lot about the what ifs, and this role has really helped me to grow that, and that's been really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so being in a leadership role, you're probably always talking with new members or young people that are coming in. For some of them, what are some of your favorite events that are in the Engler program?
Yes, I love Essential 40s. That's kind of how I first got into it. It's a really good way, I think, to invite somebody in to see what Engler's about and have them take a little bit of information back with them as well as a full belly, when you get your free food. But that was a really impactful thing for me to really see this is what Engler is about. And so I think that for new members, especially going to that, it's just so full of wisdom and really often you'll get a speaker that perfectly tells how Engler's pillars and the way that we do things here has helped them in their journeys. I'd say that's one of my favorite things. I also think that, other events that we do, like Fireside and things like that, are really great too. But I just always find that Essential 40, you get something to take with you every time.
Mm-hmm. And I know you mentioned the Engler pillars. Which one's your favorite and why?
Oh, I would say courage is my favorite. Yeah. I'd say that joining Engler took some courage for me, that it seemed like all these people are doing all these really cool things, and that was intimidating. And so I think that it takes a lot of courage to join, to step up and be involved, and also to continue to push forward, especially when you're starting a business, it seems really scary. And so I'd say that courage is what I kind of cling to keep trekking forward. Yeah,
that's something that we all need going into anything in our lives, a job or the Engler program or something new in college. So going back to the Engler program, life, your business, with everything involved, who do you play for?
I would say above all, my mission is to pursue my purpose that God has put me on this earth for. And so I believe that personally God has put me here to help ranchers and help the people that I'm around. And so that's why I'm pursuing the business that I am starting. I'd also say, a sub-step from that is that I'm playing for ranchers and for the agriculture industry. Like I said, I grew up ranching, and so I'm playing for my family operation, for the community around me, for ranchers and farmers in the state of Nebraska, and I think that all goes under the fact that I'm here to serve God on the mission that He sent me for. So.
Yeah, that's for all of us, finding our passion and finding our mission. And that's one thing that you can do here in the Engler program. So 20 years from now, 10 to 20 years from now, what will you be most thankful for or most grateful for being in the Engler program?
I would say what you were just talking about reminded me of their mission statement. And I think that that's so important. Like every time when I walk into the space, I look at that when I'm at the table, and I think it's so cool that they use the word embolden their people to pursue their purpose. And I think that in 20 years, that's going to be something that's really stuck with me, is that Engler has made me more bold. Whether that's talking to others, whether that's being courageous and trying new things, and just, looking at an idea and saying, wait a second, what if this actually happened? And so I think that, in 20 years or down the road, I think that that's something I'm going to look back and thank Engler for, is that I am a lot more bold and courageous because of the program. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing your story. I've loved learning so much about you and the impact you've made on the Engler program here. It's going to be something that lasts for a long time. And thanks for being here, Sheridan.
Thank you so much for having me.